Game 2. Who've got for this one?
I said this. Excuse me.
Who've you got for this game?
I said this was going to be a split.
Really?
So it's got to be Envy. But
really?
I don't know, man. Enemy just find a way to win. It's absurd.
I cannot call this at all. I'm pretty sure I went split.
I can't actually call it. No.
I think I went split. And Enemy, credit to them, they played very, very well that game. Up against it for the most part. It was actually a tale of two different stories of that game. The original story was the split push that went in Enemy's favor, where they got the Fire Giant to begin with and took all the towers. But then Envy came back into it with great team fighting presence and winning all the team fights, to be fair.
Build options as well.
And builds kept him in it as well.
Ice is going to be banned away from Envy, continuing the trend.
By Envy, not from Envy.
By Envy.
There we go.
Continuing the trend where Stealth both doesn't want to play this god and doesn't want to play against it. Enemy, they're going to actually take away their own Khepri here. A god we rarely see picked up.
I think this is shots at both the supports are very impactful in these games of the big talking point. PainDeViande and Kiki. You saw Kiki's comeback last game and how much of a threat he can be with his peel and presence of man in the fights. And PainDeViande the same sort of style of support player. So both of them taking shots at each other.
This should be a soul if Envy's picks hold true, but no, they're going to go back to the Zeus. So Envy, although it didn't work out in the end, they really liked the Zeus pick, and Enemy wastes no time. They're going to grab the soul again. Is it going to be salty run back, man?
And well, the funny thing about that is that the whole engagement went off the Soul Reaver at the end for me. Whoever got the Soul Reaver proc first on a frontline god and made it disappear was the winning team. And that's happened. We saw Stealth do it, Zeus do it onto Marauder, then we saw Khaos do it onto Omega too.
I mean, the whole last fight actually began with Omega just getting a little bit out of position, and he got poked to half real fast.
Yep.
And then he was forced out, and then Stealth was positioned very far up by himself.
He was trying to support for potentially.
But the problem is he's a mage, and this is the problem that Stealth has always had with positioning, is he likes to be in the fight. And if he was not there to get caught off, honestly, Envy might have survived it. But it looks
a little salty, this.
I think this is salty run back.
Is it really? We'll find out. Guan Yu. Once again, these are the same picks.
I think the Guan Yu was picked up here as well. Or I think it was picked up in the second half last time.
Okay. Guan Yu was picked up here as well. It was exactly the same spot. Yeah, I do remember it being there. Then we had a Sobek ban by Enemy against Envy.
Odin as well.
And we saw
this Geb
as well. And then there was Odin by Envy as well. But Odin, I don't think you necessarily have to ban the Odin this time around because we know where Guan was going last time.
I mean, but it's also a flex pick, right?
They banned Tyr instead. I like this as well. Take away Marauder's Tyr, which was very strong. He may go for the Vamana this time round though. And if Envy actually don't ban Odin because they expect Guan to be the support, Enemy pick up Vamana, instant response Odin from Envy could be an option.
So even though Enemy went Artemis last time, they're going to take away PandaCats on her. Not so sure about that. And
I go Odin now. If Envy go Odin here, there's a really good pick. Obviously, Guan can't get out. Vamana can't get out of that ring as well. A lot of people saying Odin's nerfed now, but it's only by a few seconds on the armor. It's still an impactful team fight utility tool.
Are they going to go that? They need a support as well, and it's actually going to be Nemesis. So
well then.
A little bit of eager coming out of Envy. Even with Weekend gone, they still want to run the Nemesis.
Well, if they go for this big protection thing, Envy is going for lots of defense. Both these teams did last game. Well, Nemesis is going to be an unstoppable truck.
Nemesis, and they go the Odin as well.
Oh, that's nasty.
So it's Odin support, it's Nemesis jungle. This is a pure counter enemies lineup. And now Enemy, they're going to have to pick their hunter here. It's going to have to be a hunter with the jump. That's why they did it. That's why they banned on her. This is exactly what they wanted because they know PandaCat, who wouldn't play Artemis, or who wanted to play Artemis, would be forced into the on her. They take away the jump.
Surprisingly, they didn't go for the Kali. The other option I could have seen on the table from them was a Scylla and run Sol in the hunter role and have Scylla in mid who can escape the ring of Odin as well. This is going to be a very, very interesting game between these two teams. Envy definitely with the advantage with that Nemesis and Odin to delete the front line, but then again, the back line could be in for a very interesting time against Kali Odin.
Here's the problem right now with this Zeus pick is that who is going to stop Marauder and PandaCat from just diving him? There's no one, right? Nemesis only has slows. Kiki has only a cage, and honestly, if the cage isn't placed perfectly, Zeus is still going to get chased down. And then Omega only has a stun with his ultimate. There is not a lot of CC on this Envy lineup.
But maybe they don't need to worry about CC if they can just hard commit and force a fight that's on their terms.
Okay.
I think that's the plan.
Kali's ultimate destruction means she can't die while in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she can actually just chase Zeus down.
Why do when I play with you, do you not use that ultimate then?
Because I forget to press the button.
Yeah,
I just fall over.
Well, let's find out if PandaCat ends up with the same issue.
If PandaCat plays this right, he can honestly just kill MLC Stealth, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop him.
Well, it's definitely going to be
That's late game. That's late game, though.
Wave player advantage is definitely Cyclone and Kiki in the duo lane at the beginning of this game. Carly and Guan, yeah, okay, they'll do some damage. They technically have kill potentially if Kiki misplays and jumps in at the wrong time, but their wave clear is lackluster early. But we've seen Cyclone do this over in the Hunter role and make it work. But to be fair, trying to do this against Cyclone, is that really the wisest idea?
That's one of the biggest strengths of Kali in this Hunter role, is that not a lot of people play against it or played against it when Cyclone and the teams first started bringing it out. So now, honestly, that Cyclone has played it, he also knows how to play against it, which means it's going to be much harder to kind of abuse the surprise factor.
Talking about abuse left-hand side, the Harpies are being contested here as the damage comes out from both. Sanctuary used early by Khaos there to avoid some damage, but Stealth and Mass are the ones that come out on top as they were the ones who aggressed on.
Khaos, though, he'll be standing strong. Needs to be a little bit careful. No Sanctuary, like you said. And Envy, they could look to take advantage of that. Varizial.
Good poke damage coming out. Chain lightning doesn't bounce as well as he would have liked to. It did hit a little bit onto Varizial as the detonate goes off. You see from Stealth there. They will return to the left-hand Harpies now, though, and get control of these. The right ones did go the way of Enemy at the beginning of the game, as you can see by the back Harpies on the right still being up, and that's where Khaos and Varizial are off to now.
Rotation coming in for Marauder. He seems to have wrestle controlled the lane from Omega, so just going to be picking up those fire elementals. He'll likely try and keep those on cooldown here. Left-hand side.
That's really good for Marauder, especially after the last game being bullied early and giving up the first blood by overcommitting technically. But having a turnaround where Omega was the one dominating the lane, now it's the Vamana so far, which is a good sign.
You see what Kiki did there? I love that. So he doesn't actually bird bomb to instantly clear the lane because he knows that enemy aren't going to be able to do enough damage to out clear CycloneSpin. Mid lane though.
Big aggression. Varizial got a good Sanctuary after to avoid the detonate, which should have been a kill there. So the trade ends up washing. Varizial MLC very, very low here. Still could go either way, but lane clear is still going in Envy's favor.
Oh, he is fine.
That's okay.
Stealth will probably use it just for poke.
Not so bad.
He doesn't really have a lot of mana though, and he might not want to back just yet, so he'll save it.
Invasion on the left-hand side coming out now from Cyclone and Kiki, looking for the balls, which aren't spawned just yet. They were a little bit delayed for a moment or two after this wave, though. They will be available, and recognizing that enemy goes straight to their balls before the wave, so they're not going to lose them.
And you actually saw the pings come out from enemy there. They actually, Envy there, they actually pinged out that Stealth and Mast were at their back left harpy, so they couldn't come and support them, so just don't try to invade because we don't know where enemies mid and jungle are. They back off there.
Same sort of story as last game, this over again, where the early game was very calculated from both these two teams. Could have gone either way, and I think we'll see the same thing again, honestly, until the mid-late game.
And Marauder going to be the first back to base. We'll have his boots completed, but last time it was actually Omega who was able to steal away the boar, steal away the blue buff, and it was only, and then honestly get that turnaround kill onto Marauder. Marauder, though, seems like he has control in this matchup so far, able to control both Omega and the fire elementals.
If you're enemy this game, how many sprints are you looking at buying? Because you've got to deal with Mast, who's all about slows. You've got Chain Lightning coming out from Stealth, which does slow as well. Ring on to PainDeViande here. Sun's come raining down. Use the horse to escape it. But for how long can you live is the question. Nemesis comes in and Cyclone jumps on his head to secure the kill. The combination of Envy's duo lane advantage with that Odin pays off. But right hand side, Omega being invaded.
His blue's going to be stolen, but he could look to turn this onto Marauder here. Eagle's Rally was already used, so not able to chase Marauder out, who will just happily walk away with a blue buff intel. But a little bit worrying for him is that he actually has his teleport's been used, excuse me.
Well, Varizial coming in there as well, just to defend Marauder in case there was any further engage. Red buff was looked at by Envy on the left-hand side there, but instead they're going to collapse on mid, as blue buff is where enemies head into now, just to secure for themselves. They don't get it turned around on them and lose their own.
I actually liked Varizial's ult there. He was actually trying to bait. He wanted to bait Omega into lane to try and kill Marauder since he was so low. And I think if Omega had a little bit more mana, he would have taken the bait. But he also heard it sitting in his tower. He heard Thor take to the sky, backs off.
So go back to the point, how many sprints would you like on enemy? Because there's 3 gods there that are slow multiple times. Kiki's got slows, Stealth, Mast, and technically even Cyclone does as well.
Marauder and PandaCat are probably the 2 you're looking at for the sprints online.
PandaCat, you want Blink on though, right? You want that blinking gauge.
No, you're right. You do. I wish there was 3 relics again, or 3. Remember when there was 3 actives?
No.
Oh man, there used to be 3 actives. It was. It was so OP. So probably you definitely want 2, right? And you can almost guarantee Marauder will go on.
Okay, and then who is it then? Who's the other one? Pain?
Khaos maybe, but he has to worry about kind of the burst damage
well,
as well.
I think with Pain you're looking at Shell maybe, potentially.
I think Shell's going to be better.
But the sprint is going to be, maybe just go Wing Blades, right? How many winged blades are we going to see then? That's the next question.
Marauder, Khaos can probably go in, PandaCat can go in, Varizial can go in, everyone can go in, honestly.
Well built so far. Doom online for Khaos, as well as Warrior Tabby for the jungler too. Wall comes out, double tap onto Cyclone. Cyclone in a lot of trouble as he rains the suns down. He can't get out of the engagement. Varizial will pick up the kill. Kiki got the ring down, but it wasn't enough to keep his teammate alive.
This is going to be a problem for Envy. They don't have hard CC. Like, what are you going to do when enemy just collapses on your hunter or your mid? You actually can't stop them, and especially, they don't have a sprint yet, but once they have sprint, like you said, to counter the slows, then they're actually just going to get run down nonstop.
So as Envy, I mean, technically with Envy's composition, you want to get to late game. You've got, you know, Master in the jungle on this Nemesis, who's going to get the extra damage. The ult's on a low cooldown. You're going to be looking to ult the targets that have got themselves tanky. And then Stealth will just increase in damage as time goes on, as well as Cyclone. So you want to go late, but the later you go, there's a more chance that enemy's going to have the answers.
And the later you go, it's enemy, right? They find a way to win. It doesn't matter how pretty it is. They just always win. It just takes one play from them.
Well, you actually saw Mass rotate over to the right side, looking for a potential
He's in trouble here.
Onto Marauder. Got to throw out the shield. No double tap connects, just the single for now as the right Harpies do spawn. Enemy will take control of them. They actually have a little bit of a gold lead by about 20 or 30.
Look at this. Look at this. Teleport by Omega into this mid lane.
They're looking for the pick.
They want to fight.
But they don't get the ring in place. That's all from Kiki. Actually, it was on cooldown. That's why they didn't get the ring there. I think they were really looking for a pick on PainDeViande, but that teleport did not work out in the end. And now, Omega's blue, invaded again by Varizial and Marauder.
He's going to ult this. He's going to time the ult more than likely. No, actually tries to time the dash, but the wall going to keep him at bay now. Omega chasing Marauder through the jungle here, but Marauder's going to be fine.
He will be. There's no reinforcements coming for him either. His left-hand side, a response from EnVyUs. They steal away the red buff, or at least attempt to. It will fall down. PandaCat and Khaos recognize it, but they're not in position to try and contest.
And actually, Kiki trying to force this fight. The rotations are coming in.
Suns come out as well. Zeus is there. Double ults on PainDeVionde's head. Well, Meatloaf will fall for the second time.
That's what this combo is good at. It's keep putting someone in the cage and then dropping two of the highest damaging ults in the game on top of them to where they have to take everything. They can't stop it.
It's two of the highest damaging ults at range is the big talking point here as well. At range, you don't have to be inside that area to still deal the damage and making an impact. Envy working their comp with Kiki, and I think that's a big key here, is Kiki, a lot of pressure on him again this game, to actually, instead of being as much peel as he was last game, to be a frontline engage.
And that's where Envy is going to have the best time, is if they force the fights and kind of get the upper hand. I think if enemy are forcing the fights, it's much harder for Envy to fight into it. So it's going to be important for them to find a lead. But Varizial and this guy, he's not going to find anyone here. I think
they were actually looking for the red buff invade there onto Envy, expecting them to go for the red buff, but instead Envy were doing the back Harpies. Not aware that it was in the sky, I don't believe. Actually, no, they may have been because there was a ward around there, but
I think Stealth
went for the red.
You saw just his positioning on the Harpies, he actually backs off more into his jungle there.
Just for safety. Kiki doing a good job in mid lane of just holding the wave there, as you can see. He's not trying to farm it, he's trying to make sure his mid and jungle turn up too. Good use of experience share and just holding those creeps.
And Omega going to see that the fire elementals have been taken. Not going to be spawning here for about a minute more. And Envy haven't really abused their Nemesis just yet. They only had that one engage, and then obviously Omega tried to in the middle. But I think the later this game goes, the harder it's going to be for them. I'd like to see them focus on maybe Marauder here, picking him off, because Marauder has been shown to be aggressive, right? He's just pushing Omega under tower at all times.
And as one of the frontliners, he made an impact in the engagement last game too. He's going to be on the front line as this Vamana again. Do we just want to see Mass come over and babysit Omega? It's not like Omega needs it, but like...
You always have to worry about the gold fury, so as long as I think Envy have control of the duo lane, that's the play to make, right? You need to make sure you have control of the duo lane.
And when you take into account, you've got an Odin, an Odin, CycloneSpin on the Hoey, ring again. Going to connect with PainDeViande. The focus on him as the ult is down.
He can't do anything.
Double ults down. 4 ults take out PainDeViande, and that's going to be.
I mean, maybe that's what you do. You just completely bully PainDeViande.
Kill the shot caller.
And now with that one kill, they're going to go to the Gold Fury.
They used all their ults is the biggest issue here. Omega has teleport in a few seconds, as does Marauder. But Gold Fury's below half. PandaCat here going to jump in, look for the stun. Envy get the Gold Fury. The ult in response, though, is good. And we're going to see a double kill for Khaos. One for Varizial, and Stealth is going to limp away. But Marauder's going to cut off his exit. Envy get the Gold Fury, but they lose 4.
2 kills for Varizial, 2 kills for Khaos, and they're going to lose this tier 1 in mid as well. Omega actually electing to teleport to his tower instead of the Gold Fury, and honestly, that's a win for enemy, right? Getting 4 kills there.
I don't discredit Omega there for the choice either, because I'm pretty sure his team went, yeah, we've got the Gold Fury, don't worry about it, just go back to lane.
There's a Thor.
PandaCat and Varizial engage pretty much on point. The focus was on PandaCat immediately, but he pops his ult early. I like the pop of the ult early, just in case he gets fully bursted. Marauder makes the rotation to pick up the final kill as well of that one and help his team out. 10 minutes in, we've got another great game.
And Enemy have neutralized this, so no real gold lead for Envy right now. Only the 600 from that early first blood. Omega getting poked out. Left-hand side, though, it looks like we could have a fight again. The grouping from the junglers
over the left-hand Harpies is an option, especially in Envy's favor. I want to say here, they have more of the ultimates available now as Enemy responded after that engagement in mid lane. And I think that's the issue here, is that Envy committed 4 ultimates for PainDeViande, which is great. They find the pick, then go for the Gold Fury, but then they don't have any of those things available to fight Enemy.
I think they committed too much to killing PainDeViande. Like, he died in a second. Like, I think he started to get up on the cavalry charge and then died. The Odin ult was fine, right? The Nemesis ult was fine, but then either Zeus or Ho-Yi.
I would have held Ho-Yi's ult.
I
wouldn't say Ho-Yi's ult just because he's gone for physical defense, but it's easy for us, you know, as the caster to sit there and say, well, he's got physical defense, so just use the Zeus ult instead, you know? Like, don't worry about it. But they want to make sure that target falls down.
They want to guarantee it. But I think it would have been fine if instead they tried to invade. I think most of the jungle was down anyway, but yeah, forcing that Gold Fury, especially against a Thor, like a Thor and a Soul who have these ultimates that can just come down on top of you from over, like, around the corner.
And now with the composition that, you know, Enemy have got here, Envy's real focus is going to be Pain because he's the only one that can escape the circle. Yes, Vamana can't either, but you're not going to commit to the solo lane for the time being. You're going to sit around and actually look for just the ones that are available on this side of the map, which is Guan over and over again. Kiki going to start the red buff with the help of Masked and Stealth as well.
I expect them to still kind of bully PainDeViande, right? I think if Envy kind of slow down their pace at all, it's not good for them. They still need to keep up the aggression. They still need to find the picks. Even though they lost 4, they still got the Gold Fury. And honestly, Enemy wasn't able to get more off of that. I think if Enemy got more off of that, then that would have been a much cleaner win for them. But Enemy, they still have to play back, right? They still have this Odin that they have to worry about. But we still have yet to see a rotation to lock down Marauder.
No rotations to lock down Marauder at all, but Marauder, well, he's had help in, well, to be fair, he got off to a good start in that lane against the Bellona. He's bullied it himself, put the pressure on, got a little bit of a gold lead there, even though Gold Fury went the way of Omega there, but his rotation has helped out. But when we talk about gold leads overall, there's not much of one in this game still.
500, that's nothing.
Well, gold's in Envy's favor, but experience is in Enemy's.
That's just because of the 4 kills, I think. That was just so much experience right off of that, and also Envy couldn't farm while they were dead. The sprints actually were picked up by Khaos and Marauder, so trying to counter those slows out. I expect to see some Winged Blades as well. Actually, the European soul laners really like to buy Winged Blade on Vamana specifically, but we don't really see it over in North America. It's more like pure protections.
I mean, it gives you health, it gives you attack speed. It's all good stuff that a Vamana technically does want. I mean, the passive, I don't think you necessarily want the passive. You don't care about the passive too much as Vamana.
Bye-bye,
Ring in mid, Pain in trouble again. Pain's like, well, guys, it's been nice knowing you. I'll once again return to base, but maybe they'll turn it around as Varizial's in the sky. Gonna dunk in, look for Kiki. Khaos gonna deal some damage back to him, but it's not a lot as Khaos focused on to master there. Rotation from Cyclone and Marauder to this engagement. Omega's a little bit late to this fight, but it doesn't matter. The fight's going to wash 1-0.
And PainDeViande dies for the 4th time right now. And what PainDeViande wants to do right now is hit level 12. Like, I don't know if he's going to go Sanctuary. Sanctuary might be a good idea. He's at least going to get Shell. It's going to be one of those two.
Maybe
Shell,
Spectral Armor at this point.
Honestly, that's...
on Guan, Spectral Armor and Meditation, that would be fine.
Spectral Armor would be perfect. Honestly, like, he would just stay alive. I think he obviously needs the sovereignty to, just the aura is so powerful right now, but, and a little bit of a health base, but going that sometime, probably the best option.
And maybe that's one of the things with this Odin Nemesis comp as well, is that you go Spectral Armor, yeah, you'll be able to escape the ring, but Masked is going to chunk your protections away from you anyway, because he's going to get all that from himself when he uses Divine Judgment.
And Stealth, the only magical onto Envy's lineup here, so kind of the enemy style from last game where a lot of it's, actually both teams have 4 physical again.
Both focusing on 4 physical, so we expect to see a lot of physical defense coming out from both teams. That's why Sovereignty has been picked up early here by PainDeViande more than anything. Breastplate of Valor already online. I expect to see Stealth invest a little bit more on physical defense here. He's gone for the Helm once again, which we've seen more and more this season. But I expect to see another Breastplate class.
So typically he's actually going Breastplate after Boots and then building into that Soul Reaver, but he's going Soul Reaver earlier. And I think that's because
Is it Soul or Thoth? Book of Thoth. Is it Book of Thoth?
It's always Soul Reaver. He always goes Soul Reaver because he just wants to get that one hit. It's like when he doesn't really poke, he just hard engages. And so getting that much burst off is usually good, especially considering they have the Odin who can chase them.
But I mean,
down.
for 40 minutes in, working on Book of Thoth, and the games are going to go late, it's not a bad item to be picking up either, really.
It's definitely more damage overall, but I think he just likes that.
The burst.
He just likes the burst. He's like, I just want to burst something.
Well, here we go. Level 12s have been reached by pretty much everybody other than the supports. Poor PainDeViande will be desperate for that one.
How close is he? Can we actually, let's hover over PainDeViande. I want to see how close he is to 12. And I don't expect him, okay, so he's about half a level. I don't expect him to be kind of pushed out at all because he knows by now. Like, he's the target.
Well, Meditation picked up by Omega over in the solo lane. Blink for the Nemesis, here played by Mask. So he's looking for the blink engages, or maybe just for disengage, maybe, when he gets chased down after dashing away as he goes mid lane to join Kiki. And Kiki, like we said, still working on his second relic, has the blink, which has been utilized multiple times so far this game. Shell on Cyclone.
Oh, man. This Envy are just, like, running around the jungle right now, looking for PainDeViande. They're going to force this, but now they have all their ults for it, so it should be much cleaner.
And Kiki can use the ring just for defense here, and there you go. On to Pain. They bait it out. Pain's dead again. Rest in Pepperoni's PainDeViande. But on the backside, Varizial and PandaCat looking for Stealth. Stealth in a lot of trouble being body blocked to death, but he's still alive. Somehow the Suns are doing some good work. Khaos will finally get credit for the kill, but because of it, PandaCat has to run away, going to be chased down by Mast on the back. Great knockup from Marauder, though. Will secure a kill on CycloneSpin. Dunk from Kiki's going to do some decent damage, but Marauder goes in big baby. Khaos using Disapparate, Juke's back on himself, body block from Marauder's good, but Khaos is still in trouble. He tries to return some damage back, but will fall. Now Marauder against 3 has to disengage. Varizial, the only other member of enemy alive.
Marauder goes into his ultimate there, but he just can't keep pace, right? No sprint to be used, no Fatalis, no movement speed from Winged Blade either, and he's just kind of getting run around in a circle. Not much he could do. He was in Big Baby trying to peel for Khaos. Obviously his model's wider, but Khaos still getting chased down, and Envy come up with a pretty big fight there.
Was it a big fight for Envy though? Because I mean, Stealth died, Cyclone died, Khaos died, PandaCat died.
Pain
died too, but who cares about Pain now? He's a sacrificial lamb.
He's worth no gold.
Basically, that horse of his should just go to the dog food factory, because that's all it's useful for right now.
That's dog food factory?
Well, that's a glue factory. There you go.
Come on, man.
Glue factory. How about
PETA,
that?
please. PETA Bible thought, man. Why
that.
you gotta kill the horse?
We kill animals all the time in Smite.
Yeah, but we don't talk about it.
We do now.
Oh my God, we
do now.
You're terrible.
See, the boss just died. See,
it's so brutal. It's so brutal hearing it.
You know
what Scotty's dog dies? I think it's what is it? There's some little.
He should just stay dead. That's what you should do.
No, what is wrong with you, Hindu?
No.
I don't want to hear any more of this. 17 minutes in, 7-7 in kills. Winged Blade was picked up by PandaCat, so making sure that he doesn't get slowed so he can keep up the chase.
It's not a bad item on Collie once again. Health, attack speed, 2 things you want. Plus your extra mobility will help you out. Gold Fury start up again by Envy. That tells you that Kiki's ultimate is available. Pain, where are you, my friend? Khaos is the first one here. Pain's on his way in. Pain going to get ringed in one more time. Gold Fury goes the way of Envy, and PainDeViande's life goes the way of Envy too.
Varizial in the sky, though. I think enemy are going to try and pick Kiki here on the back end. If I'm Envy, I'm almost just sacrificing him. We already got the Gold Fury. Don't risk getting
dived on. Stealth is in a lot of trouble here. Has to juke away back to safety. Luckily, his team helped with a zone creation. And Masto looking to poke down Marauder. He's a little bit low on mana here, Mast. He's actually looking for Khaos, it seems. Trying to swing around the back of the baby, but Marauder's like, no, I will slow you down and stop you chasing my mage.
PandaCat manages to get out as well. Trying to back. CycloneSpin sees it, but not in time to hit him with an auto attack, and a nice play coming out from Envy. And this is what I expected, or I expect that they're going to keep trying to do. 3,500 gold lead, not that much, but if they can get another gold before the Fire Giant fights break out, that's when they have those item bleeds that they can really abuse.
And you can actually see, I believe it is. Is that Spectral Armor being built there?
That's Spellbound. That's Spellbound Kusari, which either Oni's or why can I not think of the other one? It's going to be the CDR one.
You got the name of the tier 2, but I would never have guessed what the name of the tier 2 is.
I don't know why I can't think of it. Yeah, it's probably going to be a Genji's guard that's going to give him protections as well as cooldown reduction, 10%, and then after he gets hit by magical damage, all his cooldowns are reduced by 2 seconds.
Does it give you base revival? Imagine an item that gives you base revival. Pain would love that right about now.
No, please.
Respawn time reduced by 25%.
No.
Designers, please.
Old Bastet passive?
How angry would people be?
Yeah, Old Bastet passive was OP.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was, I think for your first 9 deaths,
that's amazing.
You had a 25% reduced death timer.
Wow, so you can feed even more in your early games.
That's but only your 9 lives, right?
Only for 9. Well, I mean, if you die more than 9 times in the game, are you serious?
Hey, man, you never know. Sometimes you just got to get carried a little. That's my motto when I go play ranked. Sometimes you die 9 or 10 times. You just gotta get carried a little.
And then you split push until the people on your team surrender because you're not helping.
What? I don't know.
I've played with you before. So the tale of the tape so far has been Envy have basically looked for PainDeViande every single time with Kiki's ring, then look for the Gold Furies, but they're looking actually for Khaos here. Khaos not aware of the situation, but Sanctuary and Disapparate are going to come off, but he's not going to be able to get out. Stealth gets the detonate off perfectly, but a response from Varizial, perfect ultimate on Thor. Pain is alive for the engagement for the first time in ever. He'll heal up his teammates, rotation from the solo and the Hunter.
PandaCat, destruction, looking for stealth, but he actually doesn't get enough damage. Marauder finishes him off, so PandaCat did his job. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade so far. Omega still in the front line. Varizial forced to Sanctuary. Envy, they're under tower. They need to be careful here because Marauder's coming around back once again.
Marauder in a bit of an awkward position, has the big baby, going to turn the attention back, but Kiki's shield, he's okay. He's the last one out. He's got a leap as well.
Who's the target for PandaCat? He's died once here. He's looking for it on the side. He's found it! It's going to be mass picked up, and now enemy are surging forward. Kiki knocked forward, and Marauder now going to back out of that tower, but a 2-kill lead for enemy.
Marauder made that happen because PandaCat was so close to killing Stealth, but didn't. By actually getting the assist, it allowed PandaCat to get some health back, but the ring is good from Kiki! The whole team is trapped in. Marauder is tanking this tower. He's not going to heal. No big baby available, but they've not got the damage to bring him down. Omega creates a zone. The tier 1 stands. 21 minutes in. 10-9. Enemy's first big win of the game.
Meditation, keeping everyone healthy. 3,000 gold lead, though. Been reduced by about 500. Not that big, but it's showing right now that enemy, they could fight into this lineup. Even though Envy all in and killed Khaos at the start of the fight, immediately get turned around.
They did, and some of that is down to PainDeViande not being in the ring, because Pain being involved in the fight allows them an extra CC with the cavalry charge as well. Because when you look at the side of enemy, their CC for the most part is very melee focused. They've got to have PandaCat who jumps in there, which you don't really want. Marauder only really has slows, and then you've also got the Thor. The Thor is the biggest CC on that game.
Spectral armor actually was picked up there by Marauder at the end, so going to be able to get out of the ring. And I like you said, I would really like to see this on PainDeViande as well, at least some point in his build, especially considering both of his actives or relics are very defensive or utility-oriented, because once Kiki blinks in and drops that cage, his response is going to be Shell, which immediately he's going to be able to walk out of.
The other option is, though, don't go for the Spectral armor. And allow yourself to be the focus point of this ring, because when you get tanky enough, if you can survive the Suns and the Zeus ultimate,
you can't though.
No, but if you just could, right? If you can hold off long enough,
you just can't
and survive it. If he goes Shell, for example, and survives it, which is gone Shell, by the way. If he survives it, they've wasted 3 ultimates on this.
Well, the problem is masked, right? But that's still the same point, right? It's like masked will immediately ult someone, reducing their protections and making them easier to kill. But then that's almost a guaranteed 3 ultimates, because one of the big AoEs is getting dropped as well. Sometimes it's 4 if both Cyclone and Stealth drop it over. And then you don't really have anything left but Eagle's Rally, and you have zero stun potential, right? There's nothing that's going to be able to stop PandaCat from diving the back line.
The focus at the moment, like we said, I keep mentioning, 0-6 is on PainDeViande right now. His level isn't too bad, though. He's done a very good job of keeping track of experience. He's only a level behind Kiki, which is very good credit to him. However, the goal between those two supports, a completely different story. 1,600 gold separate them at the moment.
And now Gold Fury has respawned. Envy more than likely going to try and force this as CycloneSpin jumps over the wall.
We mentioned about Spectral Armor and the passive it'll give. When you use a relic, you're allowed to escape the ring. The only problem with that on Marauder is that he's going to have to make sure he doesn't use Big Baby in the ring until after he escapes the ring. So he has to pop his sprint while he's in the ring to get out of the ring before he can use Big Baby.
Hey, man.
It's very situational. You're not going to teleport.
But that's the thing, too.
You can't use your teleport relic to activate your Spectral Armor, really, can you? You're going to drop a ward first and then teleport to it while you're in a ring and go, all right, I'm walking out now.
I don't know. PandaCat, though, getting the better of this. Varizial actually trying to read CycloneSpin a little bit off the mark. There's Shell, though, to keep Cyclone alive.
Hit the wall. That was a nice little read from Varizial, honestly. He actually found everything. After the dunk, obviously. Midgardian Mail picked up by CycloneSpin. So last game we saw, I believe, Breastplate, and then he went...
Breastplate, and then he sold it for Mantle of Discord.
Yeah, and now this time he's going for Midgardian Mail. So the actual slow of that Midgardian Mail will help me, gives him some health, but the slow effect will keep Carly off him a little bit, even though Carly does have that Hasten Fatalis.
Marauder as well should slow him down. So, and I think Cyclone recognizes that he's going to be a key target for this enemy lineup. Like they're going to want to run him and Stealth down, and so giving himself that little bit of protection as well as having Shell for the team there. I think that's pretty important here. No Sanctuary though for CycloneSpin. But there's really nothing that he has to worry about for Sanctuarying outside of Khaos' Stellar Burst. Everything else is kind of just like beat you down with auto attacks.
And I think the call for him to get Shell here was because I think this is a personal matchup for him and Kali. I think he feels like Shell against Kali is better than Sanctuary against Kali as one of the options.
And it's for your team as well.
If Kali blinks on you, she stuns you immediately, you use your Purification to remove the stun, but then you're still going to get run down by the auto attacks of Fatalis.
Well, the team also needs the Shell, and Kiki's elected to go into Sprint. Obviously, you have to go blink on Odin. It's too good to not go into the early game, so the team needs a Shell. And like I've said, CycloneSpin and Stealth actually fight together in the backline most of the times. They're very close, and when one of them gets dove, it's the other's job to basically try and kill the opponent. And so having that Shell is going to also help Stealth out when he gets dove.
25 minutes in Gold Fury.
I'm just really worried about this lineup for Envy. I don't see how, if enemy play it right, they don't win. Right? I think Envy's option was doing what they did early, was continuously abuse that Guan Yu. But honestly, the fact that that Gold Fury that they first got it got secured, but they lost 4. I think that was the tipping point. I think if they walk away without dying, they get the Gold Fury, we start to see that kind of happen a couple more times on the respawn, and then Envy could just snowball at like a 10k gold lead. But because enemies managed to keep it close, it's just very hard for them come late game.
It's funny because when the Vamana got locked in for enemy this time, if they would have locked the Kali in first of all, I don't think we would have seen the Odin pick. We would have probably seen the Kumbhakana pick again by Kiki this time around. And that would have impacted this team as well. Kumbhakana, great against multiple gods in this lineup that they actually have. But the Odin against the Vamana and the Guan Yu, very effective. But the rest of the team, they're going to struggle against this Kali later on.
Omega is proxying at the Phoenix.
Why not? No one's going to stop. Well, who's going to go focus him? If they do, Gold Fury
gets
just
funny
immediately.
It's just absolutely funny. Envy looks
They don't know where he is, though, because he actually just based from there did Omega, and Marauder's going to go back to base as well here. Gold Fury started up. Varizial is the one on the front line this time around. Pain's going to hang a little bit further back. Chain line in, do some good work. They should use the ultimate for the secure and look to get away. Will they get away in time is the question, because every time they have, there's been a fight afterwards.
Shell popped very early from CycloneSpin. PandaCat to the back line. He's looking for Stealth, but he has to jump away after Mass ulted in.
So 2 different engagements going on there. His enemy looked to try and pick 2 targets. Stealth uses the Sanctuary, going to get hit by his Supernova. They did a lot of damage. PainDeViande gets a kill onto Stealth. Marauder going to push out the rest of the team as Cyclone has to jump over the wall, trying to get back to his team, but going to get the slaps from the Frostbound Hammer Big Baby there. They're all trying to base immediately, though. Oh, Envy, they don't want any more of this engagement at the moment.
Marauder getting a little bit slowed. Should be fine, though, as PainDeViande heals him up. And you can see Varizial immediately goes to the mid lane. This is the meta. You lose Gold Fury, you force the opponent team off, and then you take the mid tier 1.
So PandaCat there jumps to the back, goes for Stealth. Meanwhile, the rest of enemy, they go for Kiki, who just uses Leap. His Leap was on cooldown, so they focus Kiki. They don't find Kiki, but the amount of work that PandaCat did to force the rest of the team to focus him allowed them to catch up to Stealth, find the kill, then the tier 1 tower, but the ring is down as they look to defend the tier 2.
Marauder stuck in the cage right now. No relic to activate that spectral armor, but he should be fine. He's going to tank it up. An enemy, they're not scared. They're surging forward. PandaCat looking for his target. I think it's Omega, but he's taking tower. He's dead.
No, they'll get a tower just in time, but they're looking for the bird bomb. Not going to jukes it out. PandaCat's still alive. PandaCat gets out of it. I don't know how he did it. And the rest of Envy just have to watch as he runs away.
PandaCat just no fear. Jumps into the back line. Was about to die to a tower shot here. CycloneSpin. I'm not going to see him in time. He was on a ward, but he got the back in time. Kiki jumps in place, tries to finish them off, but PandaCat actually jukes toward Envy. He actually walks into the team of Envy, and then just the movement speed from Fatalis and that winged blade just enough that he's able to juke out just the last autos from a couple people and then jump over the wall.
Let's go to the grass, because obviously tier 1, tier 2 tower fell in mid. Gold Fury went to Envy again, so you can see still in Envy's favor in terms of gold. The dip was there though, however. Experience is even between these two teams. And with those Gold Furies still going, it's surprising that 3 Gold Furies have gone to Envy, yet enemy have evened things up for the most part.
And there hasn't really been a lot of invades. It's simply just the towers, right? They've taken out a tier 2 and then 2 tier 1. So
yeah,
just that's what, a 2,500 swing right there.
And the thing about the actual KD of the teams as well, 11-9 is the scoreline here as we're watching Cyclone back for the second time. Enemy are actually in leading terms of kills here because of that one engagement of the Gold Fury the very first time. The 4-for-0 was such a big swing.
And even though Envy are fighting back a little bit. Like, look, 6 of their kills were on PainDeViande, where it wasn't actually a fight. It was simply a, we picked you off. And so they've only got 3 from the actual team fights, it seems.
That actual gold lead that you see on the side of Envy, most of that is on Kiki versus PainDeViande as well, which is, you know, it counts for something, but it's not as important as it would be getting it onto, for example, a mid laner, a solo laner, Hunter.
And look at this stealth. It's so brutal for Zeus's, right? Even when they have 3 gold furies to their name and their team has a gold lead, they're still down in gold. You can see Khaos directly opposite of him as it's only 200 gold lead, but it just shows how hard it is to farm.
Mid lane is a very difficult role right now. You don't get as much farm because you've got the jungler there and the support there, but you're also positioning on the backside in these engagements the whole time. Nowadays, you don't get a lot of peel in these engagements. For the most part, you're fending for yourself, so positioning is critical, and making sure you get every single camp in the jungle with your jungler is so important.
And Stealth has gone into that. He did go into the Book of Thoth. Obviously, he finished off with Soul Reaver as well, but not going for that tankiness.
I agree with the Book of Thoth, though, because of how late the games are going. The extra damage will really help out.
I think Stealth realizes that he's going to get chased down no matter what, and he doesn't have peel, so he's just like, I'm going to die no matter what. I'd rather have more damage and either have the chance to kill the guy that's on me or at least get him low enough for my team to finish off.
Well, if his team are going to be around him at the beginning of the engagements, he will get a sprint and a shell to help him with the survivability there. Ricochet hit some around it. Varizial wasn't this guy, you're right. The damage was good, but the ring is better from Kiki to keep him out. The Zeus ult comes out, but Khaos takes out Stealth. There's not going to be enough damage for the detonate to go off, because obviously Stealth is dead. Panda going in, looking for a pick, changes his mind though, retreats to his team. Heals come out from Pain, and enemies start running them down.
Marauder surging forward. They're looking for Kiki right now. Stun onto 2. Omega trapped in the wall, has to Eagles rally out, and it's going to be PandaCat chasing him down. There's the return ultimate from Nemesis, forcing PandaCat out, but it's just going to be a 1-for-0.
Mas did a good job there of focusing Panda immediately on that fight, otherwise that could have gone really bad for the side of Envy. If PandaCat would have found that pick on Omega, which may have been his target or just a primary opportunity to pick him there, that would have been an awful situation for Envy to be.
It has to be Omega. It has to. He's just, the last 2 fights, we've just seen PandaCat surge after Omega every single time.
Keep an eye on it then, because Masked on defense of the Fire Giant. Fire Giant started up by Enemy, but Envy well aware of this. And Pain going to use the ultimate ring from Kiki though. Enemy get the Fire Giant, but will they win the fight?
They're trying right now. Envy, though, it looks like they want to engage. There's a wall. Khaos very low. CycloneSpin needs a couple more autos, but Sanctuary will keep him alive for now. Omega, no Eagles rally. They were all grouped up, but Enemy, they're going to take the Fire Giant and just back off.
Beautiful shot calling coming out from Enemy, honestly. They push down mid lane.
It's unmatched.
They chase them all the way back to the Phoenix. They don't commit for a Phoenix. Instead, they'll go to the Fire Giant and realize they can burst it down in time before Envy can get in. It was close, though, to be fair. Kiki got in close, but not close enough.
The only team in North America that matches Enemy in shot calling was old Cloud9. And I don't know if new LG is kind of in that realm just yet. Varizial going to take to this guy, but no one in range.
I like
Enemy
the call
just
there.
going to get Gold Fury.
Yeah, Envy was looking at doing the Gold Fury themselves, but then as soon as Marauder showed up, they saw Varizial in the sky. They went, no, let's just give it up. We're going to have to accept the fact they have Fire Giant. Enemy in control of game 2.
This is going to finally neutralize the gold lead that Enemy have held all game long. 21 now in the way of Enemy, but we're late enough into the game where there's really no one going to be able to find a gold lead. You can see most players are full build. Looks like a pretty defensive build once again coming out from both teams. Envy, 4 mid-guardian males.
Khaos still a little bit off his full build now. He needs Rod 2 Hootie finished, as does MLC Stealth in that mid lane. They're both looking for the Rod 2 Hootie next as well. Polynomicon this time round, though, coming out from Khaos. I don't think we saw that in his build last time. I believe he went for the in-hand damage of Telcards.
He had Spear of Desolation as well.
Yeah, he did towards it. He sold Chronos Pendant for that as well. So we'll see if he gets to that point again. These games definitely longer in the series, but you expect this of potential top 4 teams in NA competing at the top, and still to come today. Don't forget, guys, Saw versus Luminosity is up next.
What a
Enemy 1-0. Can Envy turn this around?
PandaCat positioning himself, doesn't want to dive in just yet, going to focus on the tower. Stealth actually throws down the lightning. Marauder getting very low, trapped in the ring, and he can't use anything to get out, and CycloneSpin returns it.
Armor now, friend. Blinking by PandaCat, looking for the stun. Immediately Envy run away, but Varizial's there with a great stun. PandaCat going to continue going as Varizial did pick up Stealth. He pops the ultimate, looking to clean this one up. He'll get a double kill. No, that's Varizial who gets that. Panda takes out Mass. It's only Kiki left alive. Varizial with the triple kill. Why would we care about PandaCat? PandaCat when the God Thor is here.
One more hit. It's going to be Varizial coming up with a quadra kill. An enemy. There's no one left to defend this base. This is going to be a 2-0. There is no more doubt in my mind. There shouldn't be a doubt in anyone else's mind. Enemy are the best team in North America right now. Uncontested. Uncontested.
I don't know about that. I still can't say it. I think Enemy are absolutely fantastic right now. It's still too close to call.
I think they have, for me, they have an edge.
The record says it all.
With them coming back and just team fighting and shot calling so well in game one, and then just realizing their composition, right? They're just like, all right, Pain's going to die. We don't care. It's just, they just always seem to know what to do, what the perfect thing to do is in these team fights, and they execute it.
Let's go into the first blood then, because obviously PainDeViande, we just mentioned it there. This was the focus from Envy at the beginning of the game, because it was the right target to go for. They do manage to pick up the kill, but it didn't matter at the end. They still end up not finding the victory here.
It's the same story where it was 3 or 4 ults used all the time on PainDeViande, and he just took the focus early. He got a little bit behind in gold onto Kiki, but it didn't matter because the rest of his team could just engage with all their ults up.
Well, talk about engaging with your ult up. Varizial had a very, very big impact in that game. Picked up the quadra kill at the end of the game there. But some of his situational awareness in this game was very, very smart. His ults were good, his walls were good, and he was at most of the CC for this team too.
This is the thing about this squad is that I look at it, and still to this day, I don't see a single star. I'm not like, this guy is like going to go off. There's no Aninster, there's no Barracudas, there's no CycloneSpins. It's everyone just has a job in a fight, and they all execute it so well. Their team trusts each other, and they just know how to play. And Varizial is that everyman for me. He will do anything that's needed of him, whether it's peel, whether it's gank early, whether it's set up for his team. He just does it all.
And then looking for the quadra kill at the end here. Should be able to pick this one up. As you can see, PandaCat goes and gets a stump. That's a quadra kill. Very, very well played by Enemy. A fantastic performance. Honestly, 9-1 now. They've now beaten Luminosity, Randozo's. Split with Denial was their only drop of the game this season. Beat Allegiance and now beaten Envy as well. Crazy.
Enemy are looking fantastic. This is not... So, here's the thing, right? Obviously, PainDeViande it was kind of the same story where a lot of the members were now off the team. This wasn't Pain kicking them. However, this was kind of the org siding with 2 sets of players. And I thought that maybe at the end of the split, this team could be good. I was like, okay, but at the start, I didn't expect them to be anywhere close. I thought they were going to be bottom once again.
I had them 7th, 8th with Randozos. I'll be honest, I did.
It's absurd how good they are. I don't get it.
Completely different team than what a lot of people expected. The fans at home will be happy, though. Let's go to the schedule, though, because guess what? That was only set 1 of today. We've also got Luminosity up against Thor. And if you want to talk about matchups, this could be another spicy one.
Couple other teams that are in the running for DreamHack there, so this has been the day of North America.
Well, Thor is 3-3 at the moment. Luminosity actually 6-2. He's going to come out on top. Cast your vote now because we're about to go into that shortly. We'll be back after this break with that matchup.